All right. Welcome in, everyone, to the Vickie Luna Show. I am excited today. My awesome guest coming from Bali, and she is my favorite artist here that I've been working with these oracle cards for a long time on my healing school, Magical University, and super excited to bring her on today. Welcome in, Izzy Ivy.
Hi, Vickie. So lovely to be here and to meet all you wonderful people out there and talk a little bit about my passion as an artist.
I love, like, look at you right now. I even feel just like looking at you, you're just this beautiful energy of magic, and I'm sure that's what you channel. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that today. So artist, let's first talk about, I want to say you're in Bali, right? Which I think is super cool. We're on total different time frames right now. So is this where you grew up?
No. So I'm originally from England. I was there till I was 23, and then I spent 10 years in Australia. I'd never actually been there, but I just had this really strong feeling like I needed to just go there. And it was maybe 3 years ago when I just suddenly stopped feeling like home, and the universe was like, all right, it's time for you to go somewhere else now. And so I've been kind of trusting the universe, traveling around a lot, and I found Bali and kind of fell in love with it. And it's such a inspiring place creatively.
So how long have you lived there?
Well, it's actually been a base for about 3 years now. But I was traveling between the States and Australia and England before this whole journey with the pandemic. But as I say, it's been a beautiful year to be here.
Awesome. So let's talk about, I mean, your paintings, which I'm sure you have some there too, your artwork. When did you start? I mean, this to me, and this is the deck, it's called Lemarian. So I'm sure, is that what you feel that you channel as Lemarian energy?
Yeah, well, actually, I guess maybe it was even 10 years ago now when I had my first, I guess it would be a Lemurian download, or you could say some kind of past life experience, but it was extremely profound, and it really changed the way that I saw the world after almost glimpsing through the eyes of these beings. And then since that time, there's been kind of countless other moments where I felt like this deep inner remembering. And I wasn't even a painter back then. I've been a painter for the last, I think it's coming up for 8 years now, which feels like a while now, but I wasn't a painter.
Oh, like, sorry. When it came to you, what were you, I mean, when you said, because your painting is so detailed and so intricate, like, it's not, I mean, it's like nothing I've seen before. There's so much going on there. So to be only painting for 8 years is kind of crazy. So obviously you've channeled this in past life, I'm assuming. Like, you had to.
It feels like there's this deeper remembering of it, for sure. I mean, actually, both my parents are artists, but because of that, I didn't want to be an artist. You know how it goes. You can't, you got to rebel somewhere. But I realized it was in my blood, and I've always been creative, so there's always been that element, I guess. But honestly, someone introduced me to oil paints, and literally my life just completely turned around. It was during my Saturn return, so I guess, go figure. But at the same time, I think in that time, I've just completed my third. Well, I've done 2 oracle decks, and I just finished a tarot deck as well. So I think that's at least 200 paintings, I think, in that time. It's
So I didn't know. I'm excited to know. So you have another deck besides this one. Is it out?
Well, I have 2 other decks. One of them was before that one, and it's called The Intuitive Child, and it's for children. That was actually written by somebody else, Nathan Ho. So I was the illustrator for that. But then I've actually just been this last year, or maybe 2 years, I've been working on the sequel to Beyond Lemuria, which is called Unveiling the Golden Age. I've literally just finished that. And that's a really exciting offering.
So I looked at them. There was, I don't know if this is that deck or another deck. I saw one that had
Mm.
like a tree and the phoenix rising, because I was like, oh my God, that's like the energy of it just felt so amazing and magical. So is that out now?
It's not. It's just been given to the publishers, and so unfortunately, it can take a while for that whole process to happen. But 2021, I believe it should be out in the world. The information really wanted to come through very quickly, and I really hope that it will be available to people soon. But yeah, it was.
So let's talk
It
about
kind of
that.
wrote itself.
I
Yeah,
like
sure.
information, because even just tapping into you, me being, a medium energy reader healer, just tapping to, I feel you have just this celestial energy where maybe you felt like you never really fit in life in like the
Mhm.
normal mundane way. I mean, I'm just kind of getting this, so you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I just feel
Yeah,
like you
you're
always
right.
felt like kind of like an outcast maybe, or like,
Mhm.
like because I'm with you. Like people, you're kind of weird, even though like we're the weird ones, even though we're not.
Yeah, no, for
So
sure.
yeah, so I'm just wondering how that, I mean, as a child, was it like that too?
No, this is a really great question, actually. I mean, as a child, I was like, I think my mom used to say I just seemed like I was in my own bubble. Like I was just in like this other space, which I now kind of feel is, I don't know, feels almost like being in a slightly different dimension, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I guess I always had a lot of friends as a kid, but I was kind of anxious, I guess. The world was pretty quite an overwhelming place.
Mhm.
So I always like to have my inner retreat time. Like I always liked playing the piano and just, I don't know, doing things that were more in a my
Creative
own
source. You
space.
had to do a creative source out.
Yeah, but
And
it's
did
been
you channel them? Do you channel, like, I mean, this energy is so much. I can't even imagine I channel, but like on a different level. This feels very high and like you interdimensional, like you said, like the Lemarian energy. So in water, it feels very watery, and water energy is super powerful, but it also can be very emotional. So how is that when you channel that?
Mm. Yeah, well, actually, I mean, just sort of going back to your original question and bringing it into the now, as I become as I deep dive more on my artistic path, I definitely have found there has been this interesting thing where it can be really hard to go out into the outside world afterwards, and that's something that I've had to accept, or I'm trying to like work with that, because it does literally feel like I'm traversing another dimension, and there are beings here and around the world that I feel like that kinship, that they just see me and they're like, and I feel comfortable. But to just go straight out into the world after having a session, and I'm painting almost every day, it's true. Like this year that I've been really focused on this current deck has basically, yeah, I sort of felt like really disconnected, actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling connected, so connected to the collective consciousness, because that's what this whole deck is about. But in terms of my like, just my current, the people around me, yeah, I my world got quite small, I
Well,
guess. Yeah.
especially I would think after you're painting in that, I bet you are in that interdimension where then when you come back, you have to ground, right? I would think that you would have to
Yeah.
come back to the real world. It would be kind of hard, especially if you said you're painting every day. So are you painting just like all day long? Like, what does your normal day look like?
It kind of varies, because I do have some element of like the admin and the running of the business, but I find that I usually try and get that done in the morning and then deep dive for the rest of the day. Yeah, I mean, I try and do yoga every morning when I can, and go to the ocean. I'm sort of going
I was
between two
going to
homes at the
say,
moment, but
I see
yeah, the
so
ocean is good.
much water around you. I bet you have to I mean, I just see what you have to live around water. I feel like that's where you thrive. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you're a water sign or not, but I just see like water is your forte and you have to be around water. And these what you paint, they definitely feel very interdimensional, like the Lemarian energy. So like, is that what you connect with? Do you feel like you can channel them? I mean, do they talk to you? Like, and also for people that don't know, because some people are like, what's Lemarian energy? Like, what do you feel
Mm.
it to be?
Okay, well, with the water element, yeah, I mean, it feels very natural to be beside the ocean, and I feel like I get quite a lot of the downloads from just going to. There's like particular oceans that I like to visit, for sure. And what was the second thing you were
Lemarian. What is the Lemarian? Or what is the energy you feel you channel? How's that?
okay. Hmm. That's an interesting one because it's so a part of me. I can't like disassociate it in juxtaposition with something else. But when I'm in the space of that, it just, yeah, it feels incredibly blissful. Sometimes when I'm almost complete with a painting, I sometimes just end up spacing out because the information that starts to emanate from it just makes me want to lie down and just bliss out. But yeah, it's I have synesthesia, so I see colors and shapes. It's almost like, um, actually, this was probably something that I was struggling with as a kid, where I had to translate all these like codes and colors and shapes into the English language, as it were. So it was a bit frustrating for me to try and like communicate in the way I wanted to. But then, yeah, when I found the art that gave me the voice and the universal languaging to do that. Um, but yeah, I feel like I might be going off topic again.
No, that's great. No, because that's what I was just wondering. Like it totally looks Lemurian. It looks very water, very ancient energy when I touch
Yeah, yeah.
Atlantean, but it feels more old school than Atlantean energy. It feels very
Yeah, yeah. So I sort of feel with the Lemurian energy. I mean, I see them as just these quite just like pure essence of energy. The painting, I actually just finished a painting which really encapsulates the way I see the Lemurians, and it's like all it was just like a light being, like a being that is just made of like white light with the chakras showing, but all the meridian system glowing in this like turquoise color. So they're just, very telepathic, very gentle, very creative. Um, yeah, I guess for people that are usually people are more familiar with the Atlantean energy, and it's said that the Lemurians were happening around the same time or maybe just before, but they were very much more like earth-based and connected to nature and also crystals and using that technology through the crystalline energy. But yeah, it's yeah, it's just a
and
very
I
sweet.
saw too you do Lemurian Reiki.
Yeah.
I want to know about this. Okay, so what's I mean,
Yeah.
Reiki. Most people know about Reiki is just opening your energy points. I do energy healings like that, but I've never heard of that. So tell us about that.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I've had a journey with Reiki for probably around maybe 15 years, like quite some time. And yeah, it was basically after I'd done my master's. I think I'd done various point levels of it, and it was time to write my own manual, essentially.
I love.
And of course, like what just streamed through straight away was the fact that there's this idea that Reiki, or the actual word Reiki, came from, there was a particular lineage, based in Japan, and the story that goes with that. But I really did feel like this energy it's obviously just it's like chi force, it's energy in motion, it's just yeah, focused energy with intention. But yeah, I really felt like the Lemurians were, like, if you like, one of the first people to be working with this. I mean, it wasn't even like an external thing for them. It was just a natural way of them interfacing
Exactly.
with their reality. So yeah, it just basically streamed through when I was writing. It was before I was even really writing or aware that I was a writer at the time. And yeah, all this stuff came through with Lemuria and these different exercises and the way, yeah, there's some differences. Been a little while since I've taught it, actually. But it's, yeah, there's the ability to bring the notion of shadow work in, but then to transmute it, which I don't really feel like traditional Reiki was maybe necessarily doing. And there was some other aspects, like clearing, like, yeah, using that phoenix of the white fire. There was some different tools that just came through when I was writing that manual, if you like, that really wanted to reveal themselves. It was just basically bringing that up to the new paradigm. That was the message that I
Yeah,
had.
It looked
Yeah.
very interesting. And then you also do these workshops with your like I saw some that where you did the paintings. And so do you teach people to do like and I saw these people like me, like just newbies with these beautiful paintings that look like your paintings. I was like, "Oh my God." So you teach that?
Yeah, yeah. So during this time, I have really been looking at how one would paint magic and sparkles and like just figuring out techniques to create that. And it also uses some more traditional technique as well. But yeah, so I created this 2-day workshop called Anchoring Light, which is like a sort of step-by-step process where I teach this technique, but I combine it with all these different guided journey meditations to get people out of their head and yeah, basically allow them to be channels for light codes that are relevant to them. But yeah, they were really popular, and I have been considering putting them online, but I don't know. There's something about doing it in real time. Just I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
know.
I will tell. So, are you still doing them? I know COVID kind of threw everything off the kilter here, but are you still doing them?
Yeah,
Because it looked like you were traveling around doing some workshops with the paintings, and I was just shocked. I
that's
would love
it.
to do that because it looked
Mm.
like your art style, but it looked like a lot of those people, did what you do, and I was just like, wow,
Mm.
you can teach them.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, well, it worked really well because I was traveling so much and I was sharing my art at different exhibitions and festivals. So to have the counterpart of the workshop as I was traveling just worked really well. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing another one here in Bali actually, maybe next month. But yeah, they sort of go hand in hand with traveling, I guess. And I'm hoping that things will ease up soon when and I will start to do them again. Yeah.
Good. So then tell us right now, like, what is your thing that you're loving to do? What are you, I have a feeling that you're always going to be kind of diving into new things and, channeling new things. So what is your recent thing that you're into?
Yeah, that's a really good question because I've just finished this huge project. I'm still kind of running, as it were. So there were a few like really special pieces that wanted to come through. So there's like the pieces that I create, which are, they're a bit faster and they work for all the different oracle cards. But then there are some pieces which I guess you'd call collector's pieces or more masterpieces, where I spend like a month on something that's like really, yeah, really next
Well,
level.
that's what I was
And
going to ask you. So how long does it take? Because your artwork looks so detailed. Like how long does it take to do like one oracle card?
it really, really varies. Anywhere from 2 days to a month. Yeah. I mean, I'd say the
2 days. Oh my,
well,
like,
they're really more of the
tell me like
short
this,
pieces.
like your oracle card, like there's
Now,
so much detail in here and it's just gorgeous. So what would this
mm,
take you?
that one was a month. Yeah, there was yeah, the ones that are more complex, usually between 2 and 3 weeks, I guess would be an average. Yeah.
I mean, they're just gorgeous. And do you start just painting and it just starts channeling through? Is that how you do it?
Well, I usually have it's like a half formed idea. It's like it just kind of like drops in. Actually, when I'm dancing a lot, I love to ecstatic dance. That's one of my favorite things to do, and I usually get the ideas in that place.
So wait, we're
And
gonna
then
pause there. What is a static dance? Because some people don't know what a static dance is.
okay, well, hmm, I guess it's just people play music. There's like it's kind of like a sacred container to some degree where there's usually a DJ, but they play really upbeat music that makes you feel like naturally euphoric, and yeah, everybody
You
dances
can
for a
do whatever
couple of
comes,
hours.
right? You
And
just
yeah,
right.
that's it. Yeah, you allow the music to move you how you want. Some people have like emotional releases. Like for me, I feel like it's quite a spiritual experience. Yeah, it's just a great way of like listening to your body and how you want to move. But yeah, it's dancing to the beat of your own drum, I guess. And
Yeah. It feels like
yeah.
it's kind of like dancing to your channeling. I feel like you're channeling your soul. Is that kind of how it is?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, as in the way that the dance moves you. Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, so that's where I get a lot of my ideas.
So
Oh, what's that?
that's when you get your
Well,
downloads.
I mean, it's really just a key to get oneself out of the mind. And that's one way. I mean, I do different kinds of meditations and I love to be in nature and, by the ocean, and there are different places. But I mean, even you could be in the middle of the city and I'll just get like this wave and I'll be like, okay, I can feel this information wants to come through. But yeah, so it's like a half-formed idea, and then the process of being in front of the canvas, um, being in that kind of theater brainwave space, that's when the rest of the information comes down. Like I have some artist friends who have a very precise idea about what they're going to paint, but I really like to have just the structural aspect, and then allow like the adventure to unfold, because then you
Just
have all the
channeling it out.
serendipities.
So the
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So the other thing I found out, which I'm going to go, is
Mm.
where you said you're going to start. You're not doing it right now, but you're going to start again doing where you channel other people's energy and you paint it on a canvas.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. How do you do that?
Well, I'm sort of using the same technique as when I was doing distance healings with Reiki. So I tune into a person's energy that way. But because I seem to be wired to receive this information in colors and shapes and more abstract means, rather than translating it into words, or, sometimes people sometimes want to know a bit more about what's just happened in that process. I don't really feel like that's necessarily useful because we get too in our heads about it. So it's really like tuning into their higher self and receiving, I guess, kind of like a blessing, or I see this art as like visual medicine, and a
Ooh,
lot of what I do is more collective, but this is more specific to the person. So it's just receiving I just set the intention for what is their highest good to receive, or the most benefit that they'll receive. And because they're having it in their space, like put it on the wall or by their bed or on their altar or whatever. Yeah, that information can just continue to emanate.
so
Um,
you're channeling, and then obviously each person probably is different on what you
For
paint.
sure. Yeah, so different. It's actually really funny sometimes. I'm like, really? I'm gonna do those colors together? I would never put them together. Or, like it's and or even like particular like light language that I've never used before. And yeah, it's really cool actually, because it really opens
So cool.
portals that I would never thought of, probably myself.
Do you feel you're channeling their soul, or do you feel it's the medicine they need? Or do you feel maybe both?
It kind of depends what they want, actually, because yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, it depends what they want. Because
Okay.
I channeled like there was a modality that someone was sharing, and they wanted me to do a representation of that, and that was interesting. But like some people, it depends really. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and are you starting to, I know, like I saw this on your website, and I know you said that you will start doing those again.
Yeah, yeah, I will do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then what are you doing? Like or what do you want to share with us right now? Like, how can we get in touch with you? What are you doing? Because I mean, I love your Oracle cards. And you said you have a tarot deck out now too, coming out?
Yeah, there's a tarot deck, and it's
Is it
yeah,
out?
it's bringing things up. It's a new sort of paradigm of the information that wanted to come through. It's actually also a facilitation tool for guided journey meditations. So it actually is wanting to be used in groups. It can be used obviously in the same way as a traditional tarot deck, but it's also like the group members can pick the cards, and that denotes the journey that the facilitator will guide everyone on, because there's guardians, there's portals, like places, ways to get from A to B, there's the environments, there's this whole sort of layout that means that it helps
Ooh,
people to um, have more of a narrative for the information.
that sounds
Yeah.
beautiful. So can we get that right now? Is it out?
This one, yeah, as I say, it will be available through Blue Angel. I would say sometime next year. Um, but yeah, I guess it would just be, yeah, if people are interested in what I'm doing, to connect on my Instagram, Izzy_Ivy_art, or on my website, IzzyIvyArt.com, where yeah, I'm always coming up with new projects. I feel like it feels like there's a trilogy happening with this Beyond Lemuria, Unveiling the Golden Age. I'm not sure what the next one is, but I think it's going to be a bit more maybe galactic. It's
I
interesting what's going to come
was
through.
I see like a consciousness, like, yeah, like a celestial starburst. Like I just saw that with you.
Mm.
I actually see you kind of shifting more into that star seed, like not that it's still not Lemarian, but I think you're going to be, I mean, I can't wait because stars are my symbol, but I feel like it's going to be more higher celestial. And yeah,
I
I'm
think
pretty
so.
sure you've already been getting some of that. Have you?
Yeah, yeah, I have. No, I've had like whispers of what this is going to be about. So it's nice to get that reflection. Yeah, I sort of feel like the Myrians are like the multidimensional counterpart of Earth, and they're all interconnected with the other, I guess, galactic uh, spaces and places out there. So yeah, it's kind of be cool to be introduced to them.
It sounds like it. And one other thing too, before we go, I saw you had bathing suits, right?
Hmm.
And you have
Hmm.
wedding dresses, and I thought like that was very interesting. So you are the designer of those?
Yeah, yeah. So I before I was a painter, I was a clothing designer, and my passion was to make women feel like magical beings and goddesses when they put these clothes on. And so yeah, I've been doing that for a while, and it evolved into becoming wedding dresses. And then I wanted to have another offshoot. You're right, with the whole watery thing, like I was in the ocean one day and I was like, wow, there at that time anyway, there wasn't really something that you could put on in the water to feel like a water goddess. So I had this idea of having like crystals and all these embellishments, as well as the coded art information on the bikinis.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that with the crystals. I mean, everybody has to go to her website and see them. Like the bathing suits are so cool and so different. They have like little embellishments with like crystals hanging down. They're really sexy. I love working with goddesses. So they're very
Mm.
water goddess. I love that. I love that. That's what they are. Yeah, they're beautiful. And then the wedding, I went to go look on the wedding. I didn't get to see a lot of weddings. So do you have, so that just kind of inspired you because you were into weddings? Like what made that happen?
Well, originally I was really into fairy dresses. I was very much a fairy being.
I could
Maybe
totally see that.
some time back, it was more of my realm, I suppose. So I was making more fairy clothes, and it was actually my mom that was like, you know what, Izzy, you made these in, ivories, and you because not people not every day don't always want to wear these really epic dresses. And but I love designing them. And
Well,
so of course it allowed me to create something that was weddings are a day when people celebrate that beauty. So it really made sense to divert it into that realm, and yeah, take it to another level as well, like adding, they're all like raw silk and lined and crystal embellished and all of that business. Yeah, but I am sort of like moving away from that. I've been slowly moving away from it because the art really has been taking center stage now. But yeah, it's
well,
still
your
doing it.
your artwork is beautiful. And not only that, I feel it's very powerful. I feel just by, I'm sure you probably heard stories too. Have you heard of anybody like once they use it or put it into their house, things shifting in their life or things, changing for them?
Yeah, yeah, no, it absolutely blows my mind, the stories that people message me about
I
with
would
the
love to
art.
hear one. Do you have a
Yeah.
special story, like, or something that stands out about something on after your artwork came in?
It's really hard to say exactly, but the oracle cards are something that have really, like, I mean, yeah, getting many, many messages every week about, I don't know, life-changing experiences that people have had with them. But it really doesn't feel like it's. I don't know if I can take credit for it. It's like this thing that has come through me, and I very much felt like it needed to just come forth. But it's completely taken its own personality in the world now. It's like I've set this baby free, and now it's doing its magic. But just people experiencing, I don't know, like really feeling like the words or the images were like literally meant for them, like it was made for them. I was like directly talking to them,
Oh, I could
which
totally
kind
see
of blows my mind.
that. Well, even the one right behind you, I feel that would be a good image just for freedom and releasing a lot of
Mm.
stuck energy. Like I just see it even with you lining up with your chakras to like release and disperse, and I'm sure you feel
Yeah.
amazing there sitting with that. Is that one for is that one a print? Like can you get that in a
This
print?
is actually a tapestry. Yeah, one thing that's really great about some of my paintings, you can kind of see it's like it's a high quality fabric print, which yeah, they've been really great because they just like fall down to nothing. They're really lightweight and then they're massive, and you can put them up on the wall, and suddenly you really feel the energy of the space. But yeah, it's interesting.
Oh
You
my
can
gosh,
really see
yeah,
that there's
it's
like a moon with a
oh,
star
I
in the
love
center.
that. I love that. I'm gonna have that. Yeah, I feel it's very clearing. So I feel like if you put it in a room, it'd just be
Mm,
clearing. And I also feel it's very protective. So
mm,
I love that. You know, it'd be great for your space or great. And using your stuff, I feel would be great. Your artwork to really bring the healing or clear the heal. You know, clear out the house too. So I'm sure your house is like
mm.
tons of energy going on in there.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have them around. I'm ready to do another exhibition because I have so much art here now. So that
And
will
is there
that will
any
happen
more
soon.
Is
What's
there
that?
any will you be anywhere? I don't even know if anything's happening right now because of COVID, but where's the next place? Are you traveling?
Yeah, so in a month, there's this really beautiful venue here, which are keen to do a show with me, but it's not going to be just like a regular art show. It's going to be like kind of almost interactive with sound healings where people like can connect with the art individually and little spaces with ceremony. And yeah, it really feels like it's going to be a magical little event. But yeah, really right now, because it's yeah, I can't really travel, everything's kind of on hold. Like there's a part of me that's really ready to get out in the world, but I'm just hanging in there. But at the same time, I do feel like it's time to just really create some really special pieces. I'm about to paint a mermaid.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have that yet. So excited. That's exciting. So when do you think that will be done?
I'm planning on spending a month on that piece.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
will
that's
it
going to be all about self-love, that one. Yeah.
I can't wait. All right, exciting. So one last time, everybody can find you on Instagram, I'm sure. What is your Instagram?
It's IZZY, so Izzy underscore Ivy, like the plant, underscore art. And yeah, I'm posting things pretty regularly because I can't stop painting.
And you'll have another deck out next year, or
I think
maybe
it
toward the end of this year.
I think it probably realistic will be next year, yeah. But I will be like posting little updates on my Instagram so people can
So
and then
right now, you have
mm,
this deck right here that I love.
yeah,
This is the
this
deck
one is
I
available
love.
everywhere.
And do
Yeah.
you have another one you said too out?
Yeah, there's a oracle deck for children, which is a different, little bit of a different energy, but it's very sweet and very accessible, especially yeah, good for kids who are, yeah, because obviously kids they see so much and they're such magical little beings. It helps to kind of keep
Kids are so intuitive. Okay, so there's a
that.
kid deck and there's this deck out right now.
Yeah,
And
right.
then you were having a tarot deck coming out.
Yeah, then there's a tarot that's finished, but it's still on its way out into the world. And I'm definitely feeling that there's another one brewing in there. And yeah, it's coming through. So yeah, I'm not
And I
going to stop anything.
tapestries. You have your tapestries online, beautiful
Yeah.
tapestries. They're very reasonable price too. And then
Mm.
you can do the private too, because I'm definitely going to do a personal painting with you. I can't wait to get that done too. And so your website, one more time too, what's your website again?
Yep. That's izzyivart.com. Yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. And I'm excited to see your mermaid. So you'll probably, I'm sure, be posting it all on your Facebook and Instagram and everywhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then if we want to do a painting workshop, that will be soon. Like you have all of that on your website.
I do. I have a couple of forms right now where people can just add their email address and then I can let them know when I'm doing a workshop in their area or if they want to know if I do one online. And I also have that for the new cards as well if people want to pre-order or just like be known when it comes out or be told when it comes out. But yeah, it's, yeah, pretty much everything's on my website. Otherwise, mm, welcome to receive messages that I can give a bit more direction to around those. Yeah.
You are a busy girl. I also see a book coming out for you too. So I have a feeling that's in the works.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
once you tap into the galactic, I see like some new things coming in for you that you're probably even going to be surprised.
Mm.
You're going to need another mini me because I just see you so busy. So, so excited for you. Thank you so much for being on my show. And God, blessings to you. But I know like you're going to send the magic out there. I love it.
Thank you so much for having me here, and really beautiful to meet you. And yeah, thank you for your reflections.
Welcome. You're welcome. All right. Send magic out there. Send blessings and kisses and hugs to you. Bye bye.
Bye.